The work that I do, I face a lot of stress. So whenever I come back to the group, I always feel like I'm coming home. There's always a place, a home that I can come back to.
It sounds as if your first experience of coming into Christian meditation, it was the quality of friendship in the group and the welcoming, that was very important to you.
Yes, I think it's the community that really got me on this track and kept me going. Because I think I never really quite understood why we should meditate or why I should meditate. It's very intellectual at first in the beginning of my journey. I read a lot of books. I was attracted to the idea of silence and contemplation because it was missing in my life. So I read a lot, but I never really practiced. So I would easily fall away. But whenever I needed to come back to it, the community was always there to love me. And so whenever I needed that love, it's a place that I could come back to.
What was it in the teaching, that first visit that you made to the group, for example? Did you recognize something in the teaching, the how to meditate, that struck you?
I can't exactly remember and put a finger to it, but I think it's the contemplation, and I guess it's letting go, which is a very difficult thing for me to do at the stage of my life that I'm in. The teaching of we have to detach and let go of our desires. At my stage of life, at one point I was asking myself, here I am trying to achieve everything that I want to achieve. Isn't that in conflict with actually letting go? So I guess it attracted me, and at the same time I wanted to understand more.
How do you cope with that paradox now that you have goals and you have things you want to achieve and things you want to do and be, and yet the meditation, which is obviously very central to your life, is telling you to let go of desires and thinking about the future. And so how do you balance those two aspects?
It took me a long time to find my way around, and I think I found the answer. I hope I'm on the way. I think all this while I've been achieving and searching perhaps for the wrong things, or trying to fight for things for the wrong reasons, maybe to feel an insecurity in me, or maybe trying to please someone else, or trying to do more so that I can feel better about myself. And through meditation now I feel that if I feel that love and that stability and that center within me, then perhaps I don't have to fill up the gaps in me with all these other different things. I guess it helps me to understand what are my key priorities in my life.
When you speak about meditation, or as you've been speaking about it now, you relate it to love quite often. Why is that?
I relate it to love because that's the experience I feel in meditation. I describe my experience in meditation as a bliss. This is sweet bliss that I experience in that silence, and that's in that bliss I experience God. It's not always constant. It's not always there. But when I do experience it, it's a form of peace that I feel, and I think that's probably God's love for me.
And what keeps you going through those times when you don't feel that immediate experience of bliss?
Which is very often. What keeps me going? I think the knowledge that God will always be there when I seek Him. If I do sit and just allow myself to clear out all the thoughts, then maybe He will come.
And has the discovery of meditation and the grace you have of being able to practice it as a path, as a daily practice, how has that helped you to relate again to your Christian tradition, and what about all those doctrines that you didn't understand before? Have you understood them all suddenly through meditation?
No, I haven't understood them all suddenly, but I think there are two layers to it. The first layer is I started to see in the community around me how everyone is understanding it. And so in their understanding, I start to get drawn to it. And I think the second layer is I become more open to learning more about it because of this grace I've received. There must be something more in the religion for me to discover. So I guess it's opening up a door in my heart to kind of want to learn more about it.
Has it made you feel more part of the church or more involved in the church?
I don't know about the mainstream church, but I think within the Christian meditation community, I definitely feel like it's home to me, or it's a place where I have my good friends and people I can journey with. Yeah.
This is a very general question, but maybe you can respond to it in some way. What do you feel in your generation are the greatest difficulties that people are facing? What's the most? What are the big problems and the serious questions, the serious issues that concern your generation?
I would sum it up as the question, who am I? I think in my generation, we are often faced with so much bombardment of things out there that tell us what we should be, what we should become, what we should desire, and what we should wear, etc. There's so much distraction to pull us away from who we really are and what we want to be. So I think a lot of young people today are struggling with who are they really deep inside, and just trying to sort out from the clutter to define what is their identity.
And how do we, as a meditation community, respond to that hunger, that need, that confusion that they feel in your generation? What's the best way that we can help, serve, respond to it?
Well, I think that's why we should reach out to more young people out there and let them know that there's this form of prayer that they can anchor themselves in. And for me, I am trying to build this discipline so that I can know myself better, and also then to spread the word to other people. It's a long journey, but.
And reaching out, what does that mean? How do we reach out?
How do we reach out?
Do you make meditation into another brand?
That's a difficult question. No, I think we should just be the way it is. I think the message will get out the way it has reached the older generation. And I think people who need it will be called to it. They will find their way to it. The Spiritual Solution website is a great start. I think it talks to the young people the way they want to be talked to.